Get the dogs out during this episode, maybe.
Why not?
We'll see.
Make yourself at home.
See where the conversation takes us. Welcome back to Fill in the Gaps. I am Egg, and with me today is longtime friend and first time guest on the podcast, but has been in videos before. Yes. A video, I think. One video. Yes. Yeah. Previously at Fizz Inc. Tattoo Studio, now at Daddy's. Yes, can I say that you're going to Sydney, or is that okay? All right. Not in Perth for too long, but we'll get into that. Also owns a sausage dog, which we've talked about before we started recording, that they're kind of little dicks, but we love them. So
we love them.
They're both little dicks in physical view and personality, but we love them.
Such a diva.
Yeah,
honestly.
Diva. That's probably a better word than dick.
Honestly, both.
Yeah, honestly. Today's guest, Elle, how you going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I feel like we've talked about this for maybe like a year.
Yeah.
And
I was just waiting for the invite, honestly.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
Late to the party.
Yeah, sorry. You should have just messaged me and be like, oh, wait, fuckwit. I want to come on the podcast. Honestly. Leash came on and then I was like, I'll get you on.
Waiting for my turn.
And you went to fucking Canada or something, I think.
I know.
Yeah, so it's
not
just on me. It's not just on me. Fuck you. Before we get into it, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, share the show, tell your family, friends, everyone that you know about the podcast. Check out Instagram's FITG_podcast and other socials. And check out the website FITGpod.com. That'll give you all the links to Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that as well. Shout out to the Hen House for having us here, as always. And thank you to the sponsors, SW Laser Tattoo Removal. But into the episode, we're going to touch on some health and wellness and spirituality stuff.
We're jumping straight into it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about your travels and upcoming travels and all of that stuff. But I want to start with you becoming a tattoo artist, because I feel like you were, from everything I know about you, which isn't a whole lot other than you have a diva dog, is you've kind of always been a bit of an artsy person even before becoming a tattoo artist. So what was your introduction into becoming a tattoo artist, and how did that kind of path form?
Yeah, so I've always been into art.
Mm-hmm.
I was like the dorky art kid, of course. And then I was always painting and playing around with different mediums of art. And before I got into tattooing, I actually was doing a lot of expo work and mural work and things like that. And that was actually going pretty well, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So it was awesome to kind of have that opportunity to, be paid to do something I love and paint and do commissions. And it was similar in the sense I was still doing a lot of pet portraits as well, but they were just paintings. And so that was before tattooing.
Nice. Was most of the work that you're doing like right before you became a tattoo artist, was it a similar style to the tattooing that you do now, or was it a bit of a change?
Oh, it was completely different.
Completely different?
Yeah. So I was working with so much colour, and it was a lot more what's the word? Like less rigid in a sense. It was it's completely different to what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. But I also was kind of unsatisfied with my style, which I think tattooing has really helped me adopt a style, which was awesome to get to. Yeah.
And for anyone that doesn't know Elle, lots of pet portraits, and they're fucking sick. So if you got a dog and you want to get a little mural, I don't know what the fucking right word is.
Portrait?
Portrait, I guess. I feel like portrait is just more human. No? Like it is a pet portrait.
They are basically humans.
But this is true, especially when they're divas. So when you jumped into becoming a tattoo artist, was there someone that kind of mentored you early on, and did you kind of do the style that they were doing, or was it just straight into the style that you do now and you've just been doing it since?
So at the start, I was definitely like playing around with styles, or just more when you start your apprenticeship, you're just first learning how to actually tattoo, so you don't really have a style. And it kind of threw me off because it was a completely different medium in the sense of like, painting to tattooing. So I just felt a bit lost with it, but it was exciting because it was something new. So I wasn't that focused on style, but more so just getting the foundations. And then I've moved through a few different studios, and through each studio, each person that kind of took me under their wing, like I learned something different. Definitely when I was at Villains and Fizz's, Alicia definitely helped like nourish that style and really took me under and helped me a lot. So I would say she was definitely super like helpful with that and supportive. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity because I looked up to her for so long. So that's probably where I got a lot of inspiration from.
Nice. Was there ever a point where you thought maybe you might do another style, especially early on? Like, was there a style that kind of caught your eye a little bit? You thought you might go that way, but you didn't end up going there?
I'm trying to think, hey.
Other than trad?
Probably like the really hyper realism.
Okay.
But then like
that's kind of similar in a way to what you're doing though, right? Like kind of.
I think I started off, especially with the portraits, hyper realism.
Okay.
But then to be honest, like I've definitely been weaning off that, and even my portraits are a little bit more stylized than they used to be. I think it's just I'm slowly adopting like and growing my style even to this day, you know, just playing around. And I feel like, I mean, I've only been tattooing for 3 years, and I feel like
You've only been tattooing for 3 years?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been following you as a tattoo artist for way more than 3 years.
No, 3 years, yeah. So I'm still a baby, basically.
That's wild. Because, like, I've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years.
Yeah, right.
And I swear on my personal page, as I was following you on my personal page, before I was following you, like, made the podcast. And I swear it was way more than a year before that.
Like, actually tattooing, like maybe 3.5, but...
That's insane.
Yeah.
So 2022?
Yeah, it was, like, around then.
That's blown my mind. Dead set, I thought that you'd been tattooing for, if I had to guess, I was going to say like 7 to 8 years.
Oh, wow. I wish. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like my style is still growing. Like, I'm still figuring it out a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. The more you know, hey? Obviously, with doing all the pet portraits, I'm assuming you're an animal lover as well. Is there a certain breed or type of animal that you enjoy doing more than other ones, or is it all just kind of doing a tattoo?
I think it's, are we talking about dog, like portraits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to open it up to everything, then by all means, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not to do with the breed, so don't come for me.
No, come for her. Come for her.
Any, like, probably the little white fluffy dogs, like, their fur is just ridiculous to try and, like, do tattooing. It's just a bit of a headache. I'm not gonna
So
lie.
lucky when you said which one of, like, I want to draw one of your pets on the canvas over there. Lucky I didn't choose my white dog, because that's exactly what she is.
Not happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think, like, to try and get white as well as, like, the texture of curly fur, like, those two things combined it's just a bit of a headache.
So you're talking like a Shih Tzu kind of thing, or more of like a poodle?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just don't like white people and white things.
It's coming across apparently. It's hard to, like, get the different shades, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't come for me. Like, I'll still tattoo your white fluffy dog, okay? I'm just saying, it's just
You just prefer some others.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
New sponsor alert. Fill in the Gaps is now proudly sponsored by Double Cross Clothing Co. If you've watched this podcast before, you'd know that I love wearing some cool shirts. Isn't it a great feeling when you're walking around and someone compliments your shirt, smiles, or asks where you got it from? With free shipping worldwide, Double Cross Clothing Co. have got you covered. Their unique designs are custom made and are super comfortable because of their high quality material. You can shop for your own eye-catching shirts and hoodies by visiting doublecrossclothingco.com or via the link in their socials at Double Cross Clothing Co. on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you to Double Cross Clothing Co. for sponsoring the podcast. Double Cross Clothing Co. Cross the line, cross it twice. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's fair. Do you have a favourite?
Favorite, like, dog?
Yeah, that you like to tattoo. Well, not the dog that you tattoo, but the breed of dog that you do a portrait of, you know.
I always love staffies. Like,
Okay.
they just like the little boulders. Like, they've got big heads. And
They do.
I don't know, they always look like little seals.
This is true. We normally call them baby seals when we see them, especially like the dark grey kind of ones.
Yeah.
We see them like,
And
oh,
they just
baby
got,
seal.
Like, big eyes.
Yeah, always so happy.
I mean, it's not just dogs that I tattoo. Cats as well.
Yeah. Is there a favourite kind of cat that you have to tattoo?
I don't know. They're all great. Cats are fun to tattoo because they got like.
Do you know any other breeds of cats?
I know the Mancoons.
Okay.
Mancoons, yeah.
I love them.
Tabbies.
That's just a colour, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
I don't know.
Isn't tabby the colour?
Maybe.
Mm.
It's like when you ever ask someone like, what breed is your cat? They're just like, I don't know.
I think a few times I've had to fill out forms about our cat.
Really?
And Cleo's not home. And I'm like, black cat?
Yeah, no one knows. Is there breeds of cats?
There is. I think ours is British short hair, long hair.
And there's like the ragdoll.
Something like that. I don't know.
Real ignorant for a pet portrait artist.
Yeah. How fucking dare you? How dare you not know everything about animals? Right? Unbelievable, you dick.
Basically. Ugh.
Yeah, that's all right. Did you at least enjoy drawing the picture of my cat?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's almost as big as a Maine Coon. He's
got
huge.
They're big. They're big boys. But they got like zero survival instinct.
Oh,
like the Maine Coons.
So I was going to tell you this before. You know how I was saying I was away for a week, like, and I did like the up and back trips and everything for work.
Yeah.
So while I was gone, I got blamed for accidentally letting him out because he's an indoor cat.
Okay.
And I definitely didn't. I made sure he was inside, but somehow he got out. I wasn't home. I couldn't help look for him. Right. Cleo's like on the phone to me, like crying because she got home from work and he's not in the house, and like the in-laws are there helping looking for him and everything. This dude, because I was like at work, and you'd think your pet's gone missing, you'd be like freaking out. I was like, this dude has got no survival instincts. He's going to come back to the door. Like, he's not going to be gone long. Yeah. She's like running around, and then finally she's like, oh my God, we were inside. And then he came to the door crying. And I was like, of course he fucking did. He's useless.
Oh God. I remember my brother's girlfriend has a Maine Coon. I was like, we're living together. And this cat like knew that it could try and like get out when it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it knew that. Like, anyway. And then this one time I opened the door a bit and it just fucking it just sprung.
It sprung.
Is that a word?
No, but it's all right. It sprung.
Sprinted out. And I had to tackle this fucking cat. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't noticed that I've sworn like 8 times? Yeah.
I was tackling this cat to the ground, and I'm just like dirt all my face because this cat, like, it just would have gone straight off to the road because this cat has zero survival instincts. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It was a bit traumatic. Like, if this cat got out, you know, I would hate to be the reason for anything to happen. And it was like, yeah, it was me versus this cat at this point.
They can be a little assholes sometimes. Definitely. Like,
it was a big boy. You know, I had to like rugby tackle this cat.
Yeah. I mean,
just dirt like all on my face, and yeah.
Our cat is a big boy and he's a long boy, but he's useless. Like, he has no survival instincts, can't fight or anything. Yeah. He thinks he can fight, but he can't. He tries to take on a chihuahua and then gets scared and goes racing under the bed. But yeah, I just like pick him up and hold him like a baby, and he's chill with it. But
to be fair, chihuahuas can be scary. They got the small man syndrome. syndrome.
They do. Our Chihuahua actually isn't too bad.
No?
Although when we took it out to the bush, like 2.5 hours in the car, and then she gets out and we're holding her. She's scared of the dark as well. And we're holding her, and then the Kelpie comes up and the teeth just came straight out, just the whole, and we were like, this isn't you, bro. Like, you're not like that. Come on. But yeah, no, she's okay, but they can be little dicks sometimes.
Yeah.
So is what it is. Fun. Animals. Love it. In terms of traveling, so breaking news, guys, Elle's going to Sydney.
Yes.
Fun thing. But she's at Daddy's at the moment. So you have done some traveling before all this though, right? So Canada, New Zealand. Where else have you been for tattooing or unrelated?
So not tattooing. Oh, well, tattooing New Zealand and Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I was tattooing. And then just previously before I got into tattooing, like I've done Europe
Mm-hmm.
and all that, just the usual.
Just the usual, yeah.
But yeah, the only places that I went primarily for tattooing was New Zealand and Melbourne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What was your favourite spot in Europe?
I actually really loved Prague. I don't know, have you
Okay.
been?
I have, yes.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know, I think because it was Christmas time and they had like all
Fair.
the markets and
Mhm.
like it's all like cobblestone.
Mhm.
It's just like a whole vibe. It was so cozy. I loved it.
Okay. That's fair.
You don't seem that sold on it.
I don't really have a lot of strong memories of Prague, to be honest. Like, yeah, there's not really anything memorable that happened while I was there or that I saw. So it wasn't bad though.
Everything's really cheap though.
Mm.
Like it's when I went there, food was really cheap. Alcohol, and like everything's just I don't know. I think it's changed now because that was like 5 years ago or something.
To be fair, also when I did my Euro trip, I think I was in Europe doing the Euro trip for like 18 days and went to 11 countries or something. So it was like pretty quick
Well, no wonder you
stopovers. So
don't remember. Yeah. Did you do Kentucky?
no, I was like on exchange in Switzerland, and then part of
Oh.
it we got to do like a Euro tour
Yeah, nice.
around. So
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do like back-to-back days. Like for me, I have to go somewhere and spend at least a week there.
because I'm going to butcher this, but I'm pretty sure it was like we went to Paris, stayed there for like 2 nights, but it was like we went there, stayed the night, and then the next day we went from Paris to like Brussels to somewhere else, back to Paris, stayed the night again, and then went to the next place. So it was like 4 or 5 main places where we like stayed there a few nights, and then all the other places was just kind of like going through there. So Prague was probably one of those ones where we just went through it. Fuck Prague. No.
Seems like it.
No, it was nice though.
Switzerland's gorgeous though,
It is.
and Austria. Like I love
Switzerland is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that is all I'll say about Switzerland. The country, the scenery is fantastic. That's it.
Other than that,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, nice. Prague. Okay. And then, so what's the go with Sydney? Is it like a family thing? Because you said that your mum's over there.
Yeah.
Is it just kind of getting away from Perth for a bit? Like, what's the plans if you have any?
Well, to be honest, I've always wanted to live abroad. And obviously Sydney isn't abroad, but it's kind of that first step to, get out of Perth and at least unroot myself.
Unroot myself. You're making some words here today.
I know.
De-root.
Deroot. Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Crop that out. I sound like an idiot.
I always sound like an idiot every episode, so you're good.
Deroot. Fuck me. Yeah, just to kind of like, yeah, just a change of pace, really. And then from there, honestly, I loved New Zealand. I could live there in a heartbeat. So maybe off there or just head off traveling for a while, to be honest. Like the reason why I got into tattooing in the first place was it was a job that I could travel and work. So I feel like I finally have gotten to a point where I can do that, So I want to take advantage of that.
That's fair. That's fair. Have you got any specific like shops and stuff that you've got planned out that you're going to go to, or is it more just kind of see what happens?
See what happens.
Yeah.
Hey? Yeah. Just I don't like to plan things. I like to just see
That's
what
fair.
the vibe is. Yeah. I loved like recently I did some guesting at a little shop in New Zealand and Wanaka. I'd love to go back there this year because New Zealand is, like I said, it's amazing. I love it. Wanaka is beautiful.
North, south?
That's south. Yeah. So just like 2 hours out from Queenstown. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
See what happens.
What happens? Yeah. It's all exciting though.
That's fair. Last topic that I wanted to touch on before we get into all the fun stuff. You said that you're into health, wellness, and spirituality.
Yes.
I know a bit about health, wellness, and spirituality. You're going to have to teach me about. So what's all of that about, and what specifically got you into that, and kind of what do you preach, I guess? I don't know the way to unroot that. Let's go.
Unroot. Well, actually, before tattooing, I was a yoga instructor. Fun fact.
This is the second guest in a row that used to be a yoga instructor.
Really?
Did you find that it was a bit of a cult?
Oh, look. I think.
So that's a yes.
If you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it.
Okay.
Like, there's always some kind of like.
Shit going on.
I don't know. Just. It can be quite a vulnerable community. And so with that, you get people who can prey on that.
Okay. That's fair.
But there's also so many amazing community, like spiritual communities out there. So it just depends. Like,
That's fair.
That's
fair. Okay.
Anyone that's like, I don't know. Yeah, you hear a lot of things.
The previous guest that used to be a yoga instructor said that she got out because it was a cult. She still does yoga, but like being a yoga instructor and seeing it, she's like, it's a cult.
It can be a bit dogmatic. Just depends where you are. It really depends.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fill in the Gaps is proudly sponsored by SW Laser Tattoo Removal. Have you got a tattoo that seemed like a good idea at the time but hasn't aged well? A piece of art that has always been anything but elegant? Or maybe a memory that you regret etching into your skin in the first place? That's right, people with their ex's name tattooed on them. I'm talking to you. SW Laser Tattoo Removal are here to help you. They use the highest quality equipment, including medical grade lasers, to ensure that your skin can say see you later to the ink that you regret. With shops located in Fremantle and West Leederville, SW Laser Tattoo Removal is the place to go for all your tattoo removal needs, and is trusted by tattoo collectors and artists all over Perth. To book your free consult and quote, message them on Instagram at SW Laser Tattoo Removal. That's at SW Laser Tattoo Removal, and say goodbye to your permanent regrets today. Yeah. Okay, so you used to be a yoga instructor, and that led you into all of the spirituality and wellness. Is it kind of all physical and yoga centered, or is there a lot more stuff outside of that?
I don't know. I think for me, like, I think art even ties into that. Like, it's a way to kind of, channel energy in a way.
Okay. White girl.
Well, like, even having like a client, it's a transaction of energy, and you want to create a safe space for someone. And a tattoo, I think, like it creates meaning and it creates confidence in someone. And you can even look at that as a spiritual practice. Like, anything can be deemed as spiritual. Depends how you're looking at it, you know? But honestly, like, I've always had a passion for it. I've always had a passion for health, and just, health and wellness and just feeling your best.
Do you like gym and all of that as well, or is it more just like the yoga and like I'm assuming you do all like the breathing stuff as well, and I don't know what all the things are called, but
yeah.
Pilates girl.
I used to be a Pilates instructor
there we
as
go.
well. So there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I used to be really into all that, like gymming, and I've kind of taken a step back from it all. But really, I've dealt with like chronic health issues in my life, and so that kind of it brings you to a lot more like deeper kind of I don't know, a deeper connection with yourself and understanding your body better and understanding the cues, and when you're like living in misalignment, your body will communicate that.
Okay. How so?
Well, for some people, this is my belief. Like some people, it's mental health. Some people, it's like physical illness. And I think that when you're not living your truth and living an aligned life, your body will, it will give you little whispers in a way. And I love to like dive into the whole metaphysical realm.
Okay.
Of like, you're probably what the fuck is going on.
My next question is, what's your favorite kind of crystal that you have? So,
see, I'm not a crystal girly.
Sure you're not. So you couldn't name me 3 crystals.
Oh, look, you got quartz, tiger eye, emerald. Is that one?
I don't know.
I'm not.
Say it with confidence, and I'll believe you.
Yeah, I'm not a crystal girly.
Okay.
No.
So what's your
not that
equivalent?
Crazy.
Just a little bit. You don't have to say you're joking. It's fine. Fucking, you guys know you're crazy. Come on, do not start with me. What's your equivalent of like the crystals and everything? Then, do you have something that's like that? Because I know that people talk about like you got to put your fucking crystals in fucking here, and you got to recharge them. So what's your spirituality version of that? I guess
mine's more like
black coffee,
breath work, and meditation.
Okay,
you know.
Okay.
Like visualization. That's really important. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit how much we can.
Explain what visualization is, because I've heard a bit about it, and to some extent I get it, but I want to hear kind of what you see it as.
Well, it's kind of, law of attraction.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's basically whatever you put out, you're going to get back.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so if you want to delve into the whole, like, well, just energy, if you're kind of giving the energy of what you want to receive as if you've already kind of received it, it's basically magnetizing that to you. And so through visualization, it's important to have that mental rehearsal of like where you want to be, who you want to become. So that's my they're my crystals.
That's fair. Those are my crystals. Is that like the kind of spiritual version of speak it into existence?
Yeah. It all kind of goes into the whole, like the same, ties into the same kind of thing. It's not about just like, I think a lot of people think just writing it 10 times and then it's gonna. No, you really got to tap in.
Yeah, you can't just write it 10 times. You got to set up your phone and you got to speak to the phone and be like, nah, bro, this is what you got to do with your life.
Yeah, you can't half-ass it. Hey, like you gotta. It's hard. Like really tapping into that kind of emotion and that energy that you see yourself being and who you want to be. Like it's not easy. But once you do, like. There's so many possibilities with it. There's so much that we can achieve, and there's so much that we don't realize that we're holding ourselves back from. We really are quite powerful with what we can create. I
agree with pretty much all of that. So fair enough.
Good.
You've won me over. I'm a white girl now. Do you believe in like karma and like good karma, bad karma, all of that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's the same thing. Whatever you're putting out, you're going to get back in a sense. It depends how.
I 100% do not believe in good karma. Bad karma, yes.
Okay.
I believe that bad things will happen to bad people. But I also believe that just because you do something good or you're a good person, that doesn't mean something good's going to happen. That normally means something bad's going to happen, and it's not going to be fair. Yeah,
it's I mean, look, it depends how deep you want to go into it. It's there's a lot of that conversation of like why does bad things happen to good people? And that's just I don't have an answer for that.
Because I've told my missus about it because she's kind of on board with some of the stuff that you've been saying.
Yeah.
And I've talked to her about good karma and how I just don't believe it exists. And I'm like, I'm not saying I'm a fucking great person or anything, like I've done some shitty things or whatever. But there's been times where I've done something nice just kind of like because I feel like doing it. And I tell her, I'm like, I did this. Nothing good's happened to me. These are all the bad things that have happened to me in the past few days. And she's like, yeah, but now you're doing it for the wrong reason. And I'm like, so I can't just do shit and then acknowledge the fact that something bad's happened? Like,
well, I think it's like you're focusing on what you're not getting. So you're getting more of that. So if you're kind of like, I've done all this, why aren't good things happening, or why am I not getting that back? You're focusing on the wrong thing. So when I'm talking about you speak it to existence, it's like you're focusing on all the good. You're focusing on gratitude. You're focusing of if you were that person who was receiving, what would that look like? You know, how would you show up each day? You can't like do the good thing and then be like, oh, well, it sucks. Like I do all this good stuff, like, and be bitter about it, because you're just going to attract more of that.
I get that. It's not so much that. It's more like I'll do this good thing and then the next day my fucking car breaks down or something, and I'm like, whoa, that doesn't seem fair. Like how
but maybe it's like the burnt toast theory, where your car breaks
this
down.
Also, I agree with. I agree with. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I think we get like, you know, certain hardships and certain problems that come into our life for a reason, and it will keep repeating until we learn that lesson. And like, you know, we'll have dealt with our fair share of shit. And it's about, well, have you learnt from it, or have like, there's a lesson that's to be learnt from it, and what are you not getting? You know, you can't be a victim of your life. You gotta, you know, take control of it. And how like liberating it really is to think that, you know, I am in control, and these are actually lessons that are pointing my weak spot. And this is what I need to work on, because it just keeps happening, and it will get louder and louder until you can't ignore it. So.
That's fair. To be fair, that's more the way I've been thinking for probably the past 2 years. This is like an old conversation about that good karma thing, because now it's at the point where I'm just kind of like, I'm just going to do things that I feel like should be done, whether they're good or bad, and whatever fucking happens, happens. And that's showbiz, baby, you know, like you fucking can't control some things, so.
Yeah, it's easy to get clouded by how much, you know, we're distracted, and we live in a world that is so, like our dopamine levels are just getting pumped, you know, social media every
It is
second.
fucked.
Yeah.
It is truly fucked.
And I think we got too many different opinions and too many different, like rules, and that we're learning from other people that we don't actually have like we haven't created our own values and rules for ourselves, and we're not like tuning into our own intuition, but we're outsourcing that to people who, like we're talking about, like people who are just claiming that, you know, they, I don't know, have gone through their own journey and then claiming to be
their own journey,
something that they're not, you know. And then I don't know, I think we've lost touch a bit with our true selves and our true values and stuff. Like we're outsourcing it too much, and the social media, like the constant like dopamine hit, we're just getting a bit brainwashed, you know.
100%, because I've even noticed that recently, where like I'll just be scrolling fucking Instagram or TikTok or something, and I'm like, I don't like enjoy many things anymore. And it's like, it's a kind of a shock, like, because even a couple of weeks ago I was just like, I think it was a weekend, or maybe I had the day off work or something, and I was just like, I'm just going to go to the Cass. And I was like, I'm literally just going to go because I haven't fucking felt anything for a while. So I just like went there, and I actually won, but I like won and like got the money, and I was like, now what? And I was like, fucking hell, this is sad. Hey, like, it's not like a bad thing. It's just like a neutral thing where it's just like, I even saw this TikTok recently, this comedian talking about like, you'll be scrolling and you'll see a meme, and it's like this meme where you have to read it. You have to understand the context of this, how that relates to this and this and this, how that circles back to here and here and here and goes back to here to understand the meme. And then you go and keep scrolling. And I'm like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, it's pretty fucking insane.
Well, there's like a thing, there's a movement called like dopamine fasting, and it's basically
dopamine fasting.
Yeah, no,
okay.
It's kind of sad that we've gotten to that point. But anyway, it's about like, and you're getting dopamine hits from so many different things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like validation, social media, blah, blah. So it's about fasting from all that stuff. And you don't, like, you actually get withdrawals because you don't realize how addicted you are from, like, numbing out.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when you do get rid of all this, like, noise, you have to really, like, sit with yourself. And that can be really difficult for
Mm-hmm.
people. And, like, sitting with their emotions and sitting with, like, just, the realness of it all, the rawness of it all, because we just numb out all the time. And yeah, it's just, I think it's so important because, like, otherwise you just end up losing so much, like, interest in just things that used to bring you so much joy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like whether that's reading or whether that's art, music, because it's not fast paced enough.
Yeah.
And we're getting pushed this fast paced lifestyle that people even struggle to hold conversation nowadays. And I think we're struggling to, you know, like community and stuff, like it's just dropping because we're just becoming really lonely and on our phones.
Yeah. Well, even the way that you have to post now to get any interaction on any of your social
Yeah.
media stuff, it has to be like constant changes to the screen, because if you keep it on one thing long enough, the algorithm knows people are just going to fucking swipe up.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep going.
It's sad because I feel like a lot of artists have been disheartened from tattooing because it's become how good of an influencer are you? And we're usually dorky little art kids that are quite introverted and don't want to be on camera. So it's about creating these like flashy reels, and it's like it's about being how good of a social media marketer are you rather than a tattoo artist now. And it's disheartening to a lot of artists, and that they're struggling to have the motivation to even continue on. And so unfortunately that's just not going to change. So I don't know what the answer is, but maybe outsourcing to someone who enjoys doing that for you, but then that costs money. Then.
Especially with like older artists that have been in the industry for like 20 years. Now all of a sudden they're having to adapt to these changes, and they're like, I don't want to do this. But it's like, unfortunately, if you don't at least have a social media page, you're probably going to stop getting business. Like, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So.
And unfortunately it's become less about the art and more about like how good of a influencer you are. And it's hard. It's tricky because it's at the same time it's such an amazing tool if you know how to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That you can really push it and go places with it. But if you're not someone who wants to be on camera, and if you're here just for the art, like it's going to be a little bit. It can be done, but it's a little
fucking
bit more tricky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
And that's why we support the West Australian Tattoo and Arts Festival, because that's what they support, is all the people fucking going there and doing their artwork and all of that.
Yeah,
so.
it's just about the art.
Exactly. All right, we'll finish with some fun stuff, some rapid fire questions and a would you rather, because you've got a would you rather as well, which is going to be fun. So we love that. First rapid fire question. If you weren't a tattoo artist, what would you want to be? So not what do you think like you could be, so not like a yoga instructor or anything like that, things that you have been, just anything's available to you, what would you want to be? And we won't allow any past jobs.
Okay. Probably a musician.
Okay.
I used to do like gigging, like casually. Actually, one of my jobs, this doesn't relate though. Well, kind of. I used to go to daycares and like sing to kids. I was like a real life wiggle. It was great.
What colour wiggle were you? Pink?
Oh, the yellow one, of course. That's like the main one.
Yeah. No, red, surely.
Oh, it's like, I don't know. Oh, is this going to be like a
changed.
poll on Instagram?
They've all changed. I'll put up a poll. They've all changed now, because I think now the main one is the yellow girl.
The OG.
Yeah, the OG.
It was the yellow. No, he was
Red,
always the OG.
red was Murray, blue was Anthony, yellow was Greg, purple was Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, everyone loves Jeff. Come on.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was yellow. I always saw it as red, but maybe that's just because I saw red as like the main color. Because like same as Power Rangers, I always saw the red Power Ranger as the main Power Ranger.
Yeah.
So Wiggles are basically Power Rangers, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that even a question?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I used to go and sing to kids. It was
Okay. Did you like play an instrument as well?
of course,
What instrument?
like what are they called? The what are they called?
I thought you were gonna say like fucking acoustic guitar or some shit.
I used to play guitar, but when in front of the kids, sometimes it would,
Okay.
it would be, what are they called? The little,
Maracas?
yeah, the maracas.
Okay.
It was a whole thing, and they had their little maracas and their little triangles.
Were you a daycare teacher? What the fuck was going on?
No, it was called Haiti Ho.
Haiti Ho. Did you work for a company, or was this just like a fucking I've got an ABN, hire me to come sing to your kids?
It was a company, and I used to go to daycares, and it was a whole interactive experience. There'd be like a theme. So like one theme would one week it'd be under the sea.
Okay.
Garden theme.
So just with the maracas, who lives in a pineapple under the sea spot.
And you would story tell through like singing, and it was like play school and the Wiggles like combined. It was definitely an experience. So where were we going with that? Yeah, musician. That definitely, if anything, that deterred me from ever.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to do that because of...
No, but that was just a little fun fact.
Did you have any... Flex. I
don't know if that's a flex.
Did you have any really bad or really good experiences doing that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The day that I quit.
A really bad one or a really good one? Do you have a really good quitting story, or did you get fired because you fucking hit a kid over the head with a maraca?
Okay, so she got me on...
This is your boss, I'm assuming?
Yeah, my boss.
Okay.
She got me on to do this to take care of this problematic group.
Uh-huh.
So I went there, and one of the things was also like not only the singing, but you do the yoga with the kids.
How old are these kids?
They're like from like toddlers to...
You're doing yoga with toddlers?
Yeah.
Good luck. You can't get toddlers to go to sleep. How are you going to get them to do yoga?
Trust me, I know.
Jesus Christ. Okay, continue,
anyway,
sorry.
By the way, that's not where I'm saying, like, when I say I used to be a yoga instructor, it wasn't just
I was a yoga instructor. I went to daycares and
I was also a
downward
musician.
dog.
So my quitting story, yeah, basically, firstly with the singing, like, oh my God, where do we start? It's a whole thing. Yeah, so the yoga, I had like a bag full of props, and I had my speaker. I had like in this bag, had like stamps and stuff like that. And these kids were just fucking crazy. And like they were grabbing the speaker, just like throwing the speaker, grabbing all my shit out of the bag, and then grabbing the stamps, stamping each other's faces. The carers didn't give a shit. I was just alone doing that. I was just like, whoa. There's like meditation music playing in the background, and we have these little stones that they'd put in their head, and it's meant to calm them down. No, they grab those stones and they're pelting it at each other, pelting it at me. Just chaos, and like, oh my God, it was terrifying. They were just ripping like all my props apart. Yeah, like stamping each other on the face, pelting these stones at each other. And I was just like crying. It was the whole thing. And I just called my boss. I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry.
So did you just pack up and go home, or
Yeah. I quit. Yeah, that was
okay.
It was an experience.
Was this like a high school job or something, or?
No, unfortunately not.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it was like, I think because I was pursuing music at the time. And so I was like, oh, this would be a great way to kind of like...
This would be a great way. I'll do yoga with kids.
Yoga and singing and all everything.
That's wild. I didn't know that was the thing that happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, it was definitely an experience.
How long ago was this, roughly?
This would have been just straight after COVID.
Right, okay.
I think so. I don't know. Oh, actually, it was a pre-COVID. I can't remember.
So,
I blocked that part of...
Around 2020-ish, though?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you finish high school?
2019.
Yeah, so it was kind of after high school, but not straight out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fresh meat.
We graduated the same year, by the way.
Are we the same age?
I think I'm a year older.
Are you 24?
You turned 25 this year.
Okay. See, I'm turning 24 this year.
Yeah. Because I graduated a year late because of the Switzerland thing. Because I came back and redid a year.
Did you actually? Really?
So I was meant to graduate 2018, but I graduated 2019 because I was year 11.
Did you have to do like
school while I was over there, but it was all in German. So they told me none of this counts.
Can you speak German?
Not as great now, but a little bit. Ein bisschen.
Wow. That's like a flex.
A little bit. Kind of.
Definitely.
The problem is if you tell people that, then they start just speaking to you the same way that a certain man with a moustache used to speak. So
it's a pretty intense.
Oh, it's fucking difficult to learn.
It's not soft on the ears.
It's very difficult to learn. All the grammar and everything is so fucked. That's what I mean. Like, if you asked me to just speak German, it would probably sound amazing to you. But if I spoke the same way to someone that speaks German, they'd be like, your grammar is so far off. Like, you're not using the right words or anything. I'm like, bro.
But, like, at least you made the effort to learn another language.
Yeah. It was just like, because I was year 11 when I went over there. And they were like, you're going here, you have to do school.
Yeah.
And they were like, none of this counts. You could get 100% in every class and none of it counts. You still have to redo year 11 when you come back.
That's
so
cool that you still did it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to like not show up to a lot of classes and shit then, which pissed them off. But I was like, why the fuck would I?
Yeah.
And I got like fucking 20% in some English test or something. They're like, you're supposed to be noun this. And I'm like, why would I?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. It's a book report. I don't give a shit.
That's awesome though. I'm learning Spanish.
I forgot to touch on that. You told me that you're learning Spanish and...
Well, I was a bit nervous because in case you like, say something.
Say something.
Okay, hold on, let me...
Any Spanish listeners, just rate her.
Mi nombre es Ella.
Uh-huh.
Soy una tatuadora de Australia, Perth.
Nice. Can you say, I used to sing music to little kids and be a yoga instructor?
I don't want to.
Yeah. I wanted to learn Spanish for a while because one of my best friends that I met through exchange, she's Mexican. And she lives in Germany now, but she's Mexican. So I want to...
I find it's like the most versatile language. Like there's so many places that you can go to and speak Spanish. And it's such a beautiful language. I love it. And I think as an Australian, we should all, like it should be compulsory for us to learn.
We need to learn another language.
We're very ignorant. Like
we
as
are.
a culture, I think.
We are.
We expect everyone to know English, but we don't.
This is true.
Make the effort to learn another language.
The one kind of nice thing about the German stuff is that German is kind of close to Dutch, and my partner being South African, they speak Afrikaans, which is also kind of close to Dutch. So they say some things. And it's like, I kind of know what you're talking about a little bit there, yeah, because it sounds very similar.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Crazy, hey?
Would you, if you could choose one language to know, to learn, what would it be? Like, just instantly you got all the, like, you know.
Due to versatility, I'd probably go Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish or French, I think I'd say. But in my current situation, probably Afrikaans, just so I could speak to my partner's family.
It's just a random flex as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, fun stuff. Before we get on to the next topic, because this is a long rapid fire question, but have you seen that guy on TikTok that goes around and like goes up to people and says with like a very American accent, but in Spanish, he says like, "Do you speak Spanish?" and then just starts speaking to them. Have you seen those?
No.
I'm gonna have to show you. It's the most uncomfortable thing to watch. He goes up to like these like 50, 60-year-old like Spanish, like Mexican men, and he just goes up and I don't know how to fucking speak Spanish, but he basically in a very thick American accent says, "Do you speak Spanish?" And they're like, "Yes." And he's like, "Do quieres fucking más dinero?" Which is like, "Do you want more money?" And they're like, "Huh?" And he's like, gets out like a $1 bill. He's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "De nada." And he just keeps standing there. He's like, "Do you like apples?" And like gets out an apple and hands it to them. And they're just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I have to send that to me. That's hilarious.
So that's going to be you when you keep
Maybe
learning.
That's, if I wasn't a tattoo artist, that could be.
Yeah, you'd be that guy.
question.
You'd be that guy on TikTok. Nice. And then what is your dream travel destination? One that you haven't been to.
Yeah. South America.
Whereabouts? You got to be more fucking specific than that. Come on, South America.
There's just so many places South America. Hey, like Colombia would be amazing. I'd really love to visit Mexico. Horrible. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say, yeah. I know South America is very broad, but
Somewhere there.
yeah.
Travel around.
I'd love to go to Vietnam. I don't know why. Lately, I've just had a...
I've heard that like
inkling to
Vietnam is kind of becoming the new Bali.
No, that's Thailand.
I've heard Vietnam as well. Everyone goes to Vietnam and says how cheap it is and how beautiful it is and nice
I
and
thought
everything.
Thailand was becoming the new Bali.
I think that's becoming quite expensive.
Thailand or Bali?
Both.
Yeah, I think yeah, Bali. It is becoming like.
It's because it's just all Australians now.
Well, you're getting a lot of different cultures coming and like living there, that nomad lifestyle, because you can, you know, and so you're getting a lot of wealthy nomad type of people.
Buying all the land and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's also Russian owned now. Don't quote me on that.
Nah, quoted.
So I don't
Take
know.
that. If you could spend the day with someone, who would you want it to be? Like, can be a celebrity, anyone. They're paying for everything, by the way.
That changes the answer. This is he's a little bit culty, but like Joe Dispenza. Do you know Joe Dispenza?
No idea who that is.
He's very much like the whole metaphysical kind of like.
Okay.
But like it is a little bit culty, but I'm all for it.
I am part of the cult, so it's okay.
I would easily get I'd easily find myself in a cult, 100%, because it's like, you know, community.
It's fun. Community. The girls that get it. Right?
Right, like it's kind of like it's family.
Yeah.
It's,
In the club, we all fam.
I don't know. I just feel like I'd know it is a cult, and I'd just be like, it's a story, like personal development. I don't know.
As long as you know it's a cult, then it's okay.
I think that's like
Yeah, that's
you're
fair.
in control.
Yeah. That's normally like rule number 1 on the cult board that they have when you walk in.
Honestly, if they did that, I feel like people would feel a lot more chill about it because they're in control.
Yeah. Welcome to the Church of Scientology. Number 1, this is a cult. Right?
Actually, yeah, Scientology. I have been persuaded.
I was going to say suede is a material, but go off, Queen.
Maybe I was. Yeah,
Maybe.
anyway. We're cutting this all out.
No, I'm not. I'm the one editing this. I'm not cutting shit out.
What I'm trying to say, I bought a Scientology book.
Okay.
I basically got bullied into it.
How'd that go?
Um,
You still with it, or?
I haven't read it.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
Okay.
Who knows?
Maybe get bored.
Yeah, who knows? I might just want to move countries, put a wig on, and
It's like me and Cleo have talked about before, buying the like Satanic Bible or whatever it's called. And it's just like, just kind of reading it, just seeing what it's about. Because like,
you know what I wouldn't fuck with is a Ouija board.
I don't know how I feel about that because I don't believe in all of that stuff. So I don't think I
do.
have a problem
Nah.
with it. So
Spirits, you don't fuck with.
spirits, I believe in. Ghosts, I don't.
They're the same thing.
They're not.
They really are.
They're not.
They really are. And when you're fucking around with that, you're opening up a portal. You're inviting all of that. Nah.
But this is my whole point, is that if like spirits and ghosts and all of that could harm you in any way, there really wouldn't be any white people left, because all of the people that were slaves would be spirits and they'd just kill all the white people, right?
Well,
Because we can't fight back.
I don't know too much about it, but apparently if your soul was able to move on, then like you can't be haunting people. You know what I mean?
So then we're good.
I think so. But some people are more susceptible, like their energy field is more open.
Mm-hmm.
So they invite, like, you know how some people, they're like medium people, mediums?
I'm more of a large, but
They're called mediums. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they can like communicate to dead people.
okay.
So
Well, lucky for you, I actually have a Ouija board. Stay for part 2.
yeah, fucking hell. No, you wouldn't find me dead doing that.
All right. before we get out of here, would you rather time? Do you want me to ask mine first or do you want to go first?
You can go.
Okay. Mine's not a would you rather, but it's one of my favourite questions. So it's just, would you take the deal? That's it. So if you don't take it, your life is just normal.
Okay.
Here's the deal. You can teleport anywhere you want for the rest of your life instantly, just like that. And if you like hold someone's hand, then they teleport with you.
Okay.
But 5 times a year, completely randomly, you violently shit yourself.
Oh.
Like down your leg, everything is stained, it's gone. You also cannot teleport within 20 minutes of doing that.
That was my next question.
And anyone that you tell about it and like say, hey, just a warning, this happens, they forget when it happens. Like you tell them and then you do it and they're like, what the fuck was that? And you're like, I told you. And like, no, you didn't. You didn't tell me about this. This is disgusting.
That's really hard.
That's what she said. But yeah. So would you take it?
See, I'm all for like, I wouldn't fuck around with that. Because what if you do one thing different and then your whole life changes?
But you're not going back in time. You're just teleporting. You're not time traveling.
I'm not too fussed with teleporting.
But
time
like,
travel,
yeah, I'd do like most things for time travel, to be honest.
I don't think being able to teleport is worth being anxious 24/7 that I'm about to shit myself.
But it's only 5 times a year.
Like, what if like, that's a lot.
Not really.
That's too much for me.
It's 5 times. It's not like a full day. It's just like one time.
You're doing like public speaking and you just...
But it could also be you're on the toilet and it happens. You don't know.
Wouldn't you love that?
I know.
But
ideal.
that's not the case.
Imagine you've gone the whole year and you're going to a New Year's Eve party and you haven't done it once and you're like, oh, I am cancelling my plans.
Oh, yeah, like, you just have to bring a spare pair of pants wherever you go. Well, I know your answer.
I don't know I think I'd take it, but I'm not sure. Because imagine just like, oh, I want to go to Paris.
Imagine being on the flight and shitting as,
But that's the thing. If you're taking this deal, you don't have to go on a flight anymore.
That is true. And then if you do shit yourself in front of everyone, you can just teleport out of there. Okay.
But no, remember, you can't.
No, you can't. Oh.
You can't teleport within 20 minutes of shitting yourself.
Oh.
But you could also like, I'm going to go inside this bank at midnight. Break in. Cops come. I want to go here.
I don't even know what I would do with. Okay, so if I had the ability to teleport, there's not really much that I would do with that. Oh, travel.
Get to go anywhere instantly.
Maybe it's worth it then.
Okay, poopy pants.
I know.
Nice.
Biscuit for the biscuit.
Yeah.
Were you going to answer?
I think I'd take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the same page.
Yeah. Okay. What's your question?
Okay. Is this a would you rather?
Yeah.
Would you rather?
I mean, if you just had like a deeper question about like what's the meaning of life, then shoot. But yeah, if you've got a would you rather, go
I
for
think
it.
we've gone too deep.
Okay. Yeah.
in
Okay.
this podcast.
Sorry for turning this into a spiritual podcast. My bad.
Turns into therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather drink a liter of expired milk or eat a whole loaf of moldy bread?
Do I get the regular amount of sick in both situations?
What do you mean the regular amount?
Well, if you drink like bad milk or bad bread, you're obviously going to get sick.
Yeah.
So do I still get sick, or is it just the taste? Like I have to deal with the taste.
So you're looking at which one would be worse, you know?
Well, bread and milk both fuck me up.
Yeah. So
regardless.
pick your poison.
I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with bread. I was going to say milk, but I think I'll go bread.
See, I feel like with milk...
How moldy are we talking about?
Oh, it's pretty moldy.
Like it's mostly green, or like there's a lot of spots on it?
And you got to eat the whole loaf. It's maybe like each slice is like half moldy.
Okay. Can I put anything on it?
You can.
The milk, can I like make it with coffee or something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll go milk then.
Yeah, I'm thinking milk because it's like in and out. Where bread, I feel like that would just sit there.
Quite a few times I've eaten moldy bread accidentally.
Yeah, but it's usually tiny bit.
Yeah, I'm like eating it and then I
And
spot
isn't
there's
it
like a little
natural,
green.
like natural penicillin.
It's all natural anyway.
It is.
You just have to feel the energy of the mold and...
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Energy work.
That's the way that it works for sure.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd go milk.
I would say, I think because you can just down that quick.
I also prefer milk over bread. So
Really?
I love milk. Top 3 drink.
But you just said you can't.
I can't drink it, but I do because it's that good. It's a top 3 drink.
Really?
I will drink a glass of milk just by itself.
One of those.
Mm.
You know what I love? I love the taste of lactose-free milk.
That's mostly what I drink. But
Okay,
that's
good. That
if the
tastes
option
good.
is there, I will drink full cream milk. It just destroys my stomach for the next week.
Yeah, I think anyone. Everyone, we're all a bit sensitive nowadays. Our
We are.
bellies. I feel like though the lactose-free milk tastes like, you remember those little blue? You used to get them at on airplanes, the little blue.
Yes. Yep.
Milk sachet things.
Yep.
That's what lactose.
Same ones you get in hotels when you stay and they have them in the fridge. First thing I do when I was a kid,
smack a few.
I'd go open the fridge and just. And my dad's like, "What about the tea and the coffee?" And I'm like, "You'll be right."
So good.
Yeah.
I love them. I also love your Colt.
I never had them. I don't think I've ever had them in my life.
Now you know what you're doing after this episode.
Shitting myself.
Yeah, to be fair, those last 2 questions were just about bathroom habits.
Yeah, that's all right. What are your bathroom habits?
Just the use.
On part 2 with Elle, we'll be getting out a Ouija board and shitting ourselves. Nice. All right, that'll do it for this episode. If you want to look at this here camera and tell the people where they can find you to either get tattooed by you or find you online to book with you.
Yeah, so Instagram at Elmoonde, ELMOONDE. So occasionally I will open up my bookings, just chuck me a DM, see me before I head off, or you might see me in South America. Who knows? Get a tattoo from me.
Do it.
There.
Nice.
So, yeah.
But for now, at Daddy's, hey?
At Daddy's, yes. I'm at Daddy's Tattoo in Wilson.
Until October?
Like August time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't have long, guys. Make sure you get in. Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Anytime.
Finally got around to doing
I
it.
know. I'll have you on again at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, share the show, tell friends, family, everyone about it. Show some support, share it, follow. That's how you get notified when episodes get posted, because I try to do it every second Monday, but things happen, so it's what it is. Life, right? Check out the website fitgpod.com. That's where all the links are. Thank you to SW Laser Tattoo Removal and Industry Tattoo Supply for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you again to Elle.
Yeah, thank you.
Go catch up with her at Daddy's, or go see her in Sydney when she's over there. And remember, you got to be a part of your energy, or whatever Elle was saying for the 20 minutes we were talking about it there.
I'm glad you really got a lot from this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Trauma dump on a podcast. See you later.